I do think it's like this triggering thing. I think when you say, I want my wife back, right? Because for me, I you'll never get that version of me back, right? Because I'm completely different.
It's never meant as an insult when I've said, and I'm sure any guy who says this, I want my wife back. It wasn't an insult. It wasn't like, you've changed. You're not the same you. I know the reasons behind it. I know it's more often than not out of your control, but that doesn't mean that I don't get urges and miss aspects of our relationship, even in that time. And I get it. I fully understand it. So I'm just kind of like waiting at a safe distance for that green light that it's okay to come back down to earth and like we're back in our relationship.
You gotta get on my level.
Hey, I'm Leah Van Dale, and this is Hot Mom Shit, the podcast where we live in the and. We're going to laugh, we're probably going to cry, and I'm definitely going to say something I probably shouldn't. If you've ever looked like a babe on the outside while completely losing your shit on the inside, you are exactly where you need to be. Okay, welcome to Hot Mom Shit. I'm so excited, you guys. I'm a little nervous. I'm freaking out. I'm scared. I'm worried. I have my very first guest. I have the handsome, the hunky, the amazing, I don't know any other adjectives to describe you at the moment. My husband, Matthew.
You did a great job of pulling up the nose because the first intro sounded like I'm a real monster. And you said you're nervous and I don't know what to think about this. Luckily, you complimented my appearance, so I'm not quite as offended.
I'm nervous, you guys, because this is what you do for a living. He's a speaker. He speaks well. He speaks eloquently. He is a commentator. Why did I forget? What did I forget? Yeah, broadcaster. And also for those of you who don't know, we used to have our own podcast, and Matt always liked to say that he was the one steering the ship. He was the captain, and then I was the one poking holes in the ship, flooding it with water. And he would have a bucket. He'd have one hand on the steering wheel, one hand in the bucket, taking the water out and pouring it out, and I would be sinking the ship. But we're here, we're doing it, and I'm nervous.
You shouldn't be nervous. You should be at ease. You should be at your most comfortable.
I want to impress you.
You always impress me, baby.
I do?
Yeah. I'm just not sure how your podcasting skills are.
Well, let's see. How am I doing so far? Scale of 1 to 10.
I mean, at this point, I'm saying maybe a 6 at best. So the intro, I feel like it was a little lackluster.
Okay, let me try to
not for me personally. I feel like this is hot mom shit. You should be excited. You sounded like a church mouse.
What?
Welcome to hot mom shit.
Because I'm nervous. Okay.
You gotta own it. You have to be confident. The people want to know. The people want to hear.
People want to be on that hot dad shit, that hot rabbi shit, if you will.
That's what I was most excited about. That's the only reason I agreed to do this.
Have you guys seen Just Go or not Just Go With It? Oh my God, Just Go With It is one of my favorite movies. What is the name of the movie?
Nobody wants this. It's a show. It's on Netflix.
When I told Matt that I was going to be doing this podcast, he's like, "Can I be the hot rabbi?" And I was like, "Well, you can be hot. You are not a rabbi, unfortunately, but you are hot."
I could convert.
I'd be so into that. But I do want to talk to you about something today.
All right.
I spoke about the you guys, I'm glitching because I'm so fucking nervous. Let me just like get it out. Fuck. Okay. Okay. A couple weeks ago, I brought up the infamous Bluetooth incident. Okay. For those of you who weren't listening, what the hell's wrong with you? But let me just give you a quick little recap. I was working out with my trainer. We had music playing on the Bluetooth, and Matt decided to connect and watch some porn while we were working out.
No. Okay. So I'm going to stop you right there because the facts of the story weren't even laid out properly or accurately. That was my Bluetooth speaker that I purchased, utilize regularly, particularly on the back porch when we're having company or when I'm out there grilling, doing my thing. Right. That's my little slice of heaven, right? That Bluetooth speaker. So I would never have any reason to assume that turning off or disconnecting would be necessary. So I didn't not disconnect. You stole my speaker.
Okay, you knew that I was using it, but whatever. We don't need to get into semantics, if you will. But whatever. Regardless of what happened, I want to talk about the conversation we had after. And it's so imprinted in my brain. Like, I was wondering, truthfully, when I was done with this workout, how do I address this with Matt? Is he going to bring it up? Like, what are we going to talk about? How do I bring it up? I left the gym. I walked up the stairs and I saw you and I just like broke down. And you're like, "How's your workout?" And I'm like, I was 3 months postpartum. It was a lot. It was heavy. I was going through so much. And I remember vividly describing to you, I felt like I was in a well. Like if you dug a big hole in the ground, I was at the bottom and I just can't get myself out of it. I feel like no matter how much I scratched and clawed my way out, I just like couldn't get out. And it was almost as if like dirt was being poured on top of the hole. And I just was like looking at the world outside from this like, awful feeling. I mean, and it's so hard to describe postpartum to anyone who hasn't been in it, but if you know, right? It's like some days are good, some days are bad, and it's just this whirlwind of emotions and hormones and, like, missing your old life and your old body and your old rhythm, like, that even you and I were in, and it was just a lot, and I remember you saying to me, do you remember what you said?
No.
Okay, so you said, "You feel like you're down in a well. I feel like I'm up in the air." Like, I don't know if you were saying it like as if you're in an airplane or you're a bird or whatever. I don't know how you were picturing it in your head. But you said you were flying around the air.
Like a badass pterodactyl.
There you go. Looking down and you don't even know how to land or where to land. And it was like this weird, like when you said that, it really just resonated with me. And I felt like, wow, we really are on just two completely different levels, playing fields, whatever. I'm in the ground, like underneath the ground, and you're so far up in the air, and we're just like not at all meshing.
Well, I didn't mean like in an exalted manner, like way up, I'm up
No,
here.
no, for
Yeah.
sure.
Also, before we dive too deep into it, I would like to defend myself in a sense that I was not actively seeking out porn at the time. I was closing windows on my phone, which, if you ever logged on intentionally or otherwise to an adult site, you tend to get about a dozen pop ups that
Right.
just sort of live in that little compartment. So I was cleaning my phone out and I just happened to like stop and got a little distracted. It wasn't like an active porn watching session, by the
Sure.
way.
But like,
Um,
if so, whatever.
yeah, well, regardless, I just figured like I'm not just some kind of psychopathic pervert who just has porn on all hours of the day.
Well, I don't think anyone thought that.
Okay, well, just in case they did, I could prove them wrong. But to your point, I don't know any better way to describe it other than like I felt like I was in life, not necessarily even in that moment.
No,
But
and that's what this all was. It
yeah,
wasn't about that specific moment.
in life at the time, I was trying my best to wait for a signal that it was safe to land. To and what I mean by that is you were deep in it with the postpartum hormones, and one minute you're this person, and another person you're next. It's Jekyll and Hyde times 1,000. So I
Which
kind
is
of
okay and completely normal.
sure, I'm not saying this to insult you. I'm just saying like from a I like to think a guy's perspective in general, but at least from my perspective, it was more important to me to tread lightly and give you the space that I could while also keeping an eye on that little window of opening to like, okay, hey, I would love to make out with my wife and have my wife back. And that's what I mean. It's never meant as an insult when I've said, and I'm sure any guy who says this, I want my wife back. It wasn't an insult. It wasn't like you've changed. You're not the same you. I know the reasons behind it. I know it's more often than not out of your control, but that doesn't mean that I don't get urges and miss aspects of our relationship even in that time, and I get it. I fully understand it. Having plenty of children, there is that window, and you're not yourself, right? It's like you're like the invasion of the body snatchers. Like postpartum has come in and taken over who you are, your identity, your thought process. So I'm just kind of like waiting at a safe distance for that green light that it's okay to come back down to earth and like we're back in our relationship. So that's what I meant when I said I feel like I'm floating and hovering above. It's not an insult. It's not anything other than me sort of trying my best to explain how I'm looking at the situation and hoping that you understand that it wasn't a negative. It wasn't
No,
a blame thing. It wasn't, well, you did this, so I did that. It was, yeah, things aren't right now. I'm not trying to incur the wrath of a postpartum hormone storm. I'm just kind of like letting you know, hey, I still think you're super hot. You're still my wife. I still want to do husband and wife things with you.
and I completely understand that. I do think it's like this triggering thing. I think when you say, I want my wife back, right? Because for me, I you'll never get that version of me back, right? Because I'm completely different. No matter how many babies I have, like after like I'm a different person since I had Dimitri, now that we have two boys, I'm just different and I don't even know who I am. I don't know where I fit in. I don't know God, like, there's so much I don't know, and it's all unknown. So I think for me, it's just almost, like, frustrating when you say, "I want my wife back," because it's like, well, I want myself back, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know who I am, and full transparency, Matt and I do go to couples therapy, and we talk about this a lot. It's like, who am I? I have no idea. So I get, like, both ends of the spectrum. It's like, I try to look at it from your perspective as much as I can because I know God, like, I mean, I don't know how anyone else listening feels, but I know that we feel like marriage comes first. Husband and wife, we need to be happy. We need to be a unit. We need to be on the same page. And I think it's so hard postpartum because there's just so much disruption to our regularly scheduled programs. So much has changed. And no matter how much you prepare for it, especially like this time around, I knew what to expect because I had a
Been through it.
baby, right? So I'm like, okay, we're going to be prepared. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. I know I'm going to have this. But it's so different. You can try to prepare as much as you want, but once it's here and once it's happening, it's a completely different ball game.
For sure. And again, having been through this, I have 5 children. I
Yeah.
know that there is a stage that comes with it. And it's just sort of verbalizing, and maybe it can be done more tactfully or with a different phrase. It's not like, oh, hey, I can't wait for you to snap back like a rubber band into being the exact same person you were when we started dating.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not the same guy you started dating when we started dating. Like,
For
right? You
sure.
have to grow, you have to evolve. And I understand that. And there are circumstances that dictate like things are going to be different, at least in the short term.
Yeah.
But when I say that, it's not like, hey, drop everything. Let's go back to getting wasted and having wild sex and doing nothing else for days at a
That
time.
sounds so fun.
It does sound amazing. But like I don't have that level of expectation, but it's just
Right.
kind of like a sort of a nudge, if you will, a verbal like, hey, let me know when you're feeling some kind of way, especially now because I don't know. And there have literally been instances where like you'll say something flirty or hint at something, and I'm like, oh, sweet, like maybe tonight, maybe this is going to be the night, maybe I have her back. And then by the time I get to it, it's like, who is this person and what has she done with my wife?
Yeah.
Just that's the nature of the hormones and everything you're dealing with, but it literally is that quick and that unpredictable from my perspective. So I'm when I say I'm hovering, it's just like, just give me the green light. I'm just going to be here in the periphery. I'm not going to try to overstep my bounds. I'm not going to try to piss you off or push you in any sort of direction. Just let me know, because in the event that you're feeling something, even if it's for like 10 minutes, I don't want to miss that. Like, I know what, does that
Yeah.
make sense? Like, I'm not trying to convince you like, oh, well, it's been a few weeks. Like, sure. Does it suck as a man? Absolutely. Especially, I got a smoke show of a wife. Like, I'm like, I want my hands on you all the time. So it's like crazy when I'm like, I feel like I'm going through withdrawal.
Yeah.
And it's like, those are the little windows. And you and I talk about it all the time. We used to talk about it on our old podcast, the tenets of our relationship for so long were honesty, communication, and sex.
Yeah.
The honesty hasn't gone anywhere. The communication could always be better, but the sex just evaporated
Yeah.
for a minute. And that's a tough pill to swallow, even though it's for a totally valid and good reason. But I don't think I'm the only man on earth who feels like this, where it's like, wait a minute, I did the thing. I helped change the diaper. I got you what you needed. I've done everything. Everything in the house is in order. Everything. What now? And it's like almost this wishful thinking. And then it's like all those dreams that you've built up in your head for the days leading up are like dashed in an instant. And it's like, God, that's the worst.
Well, it's so hard, I think, as a woman, especially postpartum. Like, I feel for that, right? And I want to be able to like have sex and do all the things, but it's like literally the last thing on my mind.
Sure.
And when I go to bed at night, after like, okay, I have to clean the bottles, I have to do this. And like, you're very helpful. Like, I make it very apparent when I'm done putting
Can we
the boys
record
down.
that? Can we play it back? Can we loop it?
When I'm done putting the boys down, if I have to come down and wash a fucking bottle, I'm gonna lose my mind. So like, you've gotten to the point where you know that. Cool. Now we're good. But it's this long laundry list of things to do that I think most women have after the end of the day. And it's like, finally, I like get into bed. And now, on top of everything, I have to pump for fucking 30 minutes because my son doesn't latch. So I have to pump before bed so I don't have to wake up in the middle of the night. The last thing the last thing I want to do after I'm done pumping, after I'm washing the pump parts, putting everything away, brushing my teeth, get into bed, I'm like, ugh. Just like want to go to sleep because I know the baby's going to be up in a couple hours. I do not A, feel sexy, B, want to have sex. It's just like the last thing I want to do. And then it's like this guilt. You always want to talk about mom guilt. It's like wife guilt of being like, oh, like I know I should do that, but like I really, really, really don't want to right now. And then it feels like charity work, right?
And that, weirdly enough, when anything feels like charity, instant turn off.
Right.
I'm like, I want you to do these things because you want
Of
to, not
course.
because you feel obligated. And to me, it's like, oh, you know what? Never mind. It seriously, it kills the mood faster than anything.
And I don't think we talk about enough, like the hormones that happen in women's bodies when you're breastfeeding. There's a reason why you're not on your period and why you don't get your cycle. It's because your body is literally providing food and fuel for your baby to give it life and take care of them.
Also, at the end of the day, sex is like made to create humans.
Exactly. And that's why you're not in that mode to create a human. You're not horny, you're not ovulating, you're not like doing any of those things because your body is taking care of a baby. That's the reason why you don't have your period. Like, that's why, because you're whatever I don't know if it's prolactin, whatever the fucking hormone is that you're not producing. So that's why you don't want to have sex. And I think a lot of women don't realize that because it's literally scientific. You're not wired to want to create life when you have a new life in your hands.
Sure.
So it's I think a lot of women can be like, "Oh, why don't I feel horny? Why don't I want to have sex with my," because your body is telling you you don't need to.
You said something a few minutes ago that stuck out to me, and I guarantee you I'm not the only guy that's ever felt this way. When you said you don't feel sexy,
Yeah.
right? To me, and pretty much any guy I would at least that I've ever had a conversation in this realm with, I look at you and I just see my hot wife that I want to touch, right? I don't feel the hormones you feel.
Right.
I don't understand. So when you say like, I don't feel sexy, I'm like, too bad. Guess what? You are. You're actually very sexy. And I can't wait to do things like that with you. So it's almost doubly frustrating because it's like, even if it literally happened to us where you've gotten dressed up, we've gone out or done whatever. And you look the part, but then it's like, well, what do you mean you don't feel sexy? I'm doing what? It's like this conundrum that you just can't solve in your head, where it's like, wait a minute, this woman that I love, that I married, that I knocked up, that just had my baby, clearly I'm still very into you. It's such a weird, inexplicable response for the male brain to handle, where it's like, what do you mean you don't feel sexy? What does that have to do with anything?
Let me explain to you the best way possible. Matt and I went to this sushi restaurant. If anyone's in Pittsburgh, where was it? In Shadyside?
Yes.
And we did this, what is it? Like an
Like a chef's
omakase,
table, like a tasting.
and they give you like 12 courses, right? And so much sushi, so much food, so much soy sauce. I mean, we ate and ate and ate and ate and ate, right?
So delicious.
It was so good. But by the time we got home, Matt was like, and this is a date night. I was like, Dimitri was maybe, I don't know, a couple months old at this point. And we were like ready to, get after it. Like we had a couple drinks. Like, we're going to get after it tonight. My mom had the baby. And we sit down on the couch after we get home after this date. And you look at me and you're like, I'm so sorry. I just feel like I smell like fish. I'm bloated. I'm full. I feel disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, I can't have sex with you tonight. Like, this is what you said to me verbatim. And I was like, okay, yeah, me neither. And like, literally you could feel,
I could
like
feel the fish oozing out of my pores.
yeah, exactly. You could, the fish oils were like we smelt like, it was just like so much food and we felt disgusting.
And I regret nothing other than
Sure.
doing that on a date night where we
But
had the expectation.
that's how I would equate postpartum. Like, if you could try to explain to a guy in any way, like that's what it feels like. You just know you just don't feel like having. It's just like, oh, You just
Yeah. But I would dare say that most men are like, whatever. I'm never gonna miss a shot. Not me, but I'm just saying, like,
right.
most men
But
who
that
aren't listening to hot mom shit. Hopefully, they're in the car with their wife or their baby mama to be.
But that's how I can try to explain it to you. Like,
Makes
that's
sense.
how I feel all the time. Like, I just feel like I ate way too much sushi and then on top of it, add like, I don't know, some depression and a little
Yeah.
anxiety in there. And that's what it feels like postpartum.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Love a good mental illness cocktail.
I think going back to like what we're talking about with couples therapy earlier. Did we talk about that? We mentioned it briefly. Okay. I think it's important to note that in this journey of our marriage, like you said, you're not the same person that I met however many 7 years ago, right? You're completely different now. And so am I. And I think that's kind of the whole point in marriage. You have to grow, you have to evolve, you have to change, and you both have to be willing to do it, right? So, like these issues that we're kind of dealing with and going through, it's worth it, obviously, because we love each other. We want to be in this relationship, we want to be in this marriage. But if you were the same person right now, that you were when we first started, like, I wouldn't wanna be with you. Like, we need to grow, we need to change, we need to evolve, and I think that's what is so kind of like, I don't know, beautiful about this relationship, that we're willing to put in the work, we're willing to understand each other's perspective, and let me be completely honest, like, we do fight quite a bit. We argue, we get on each other's nerves, and that is postpartum. Like, I don't know. I would love to meet somebody who had a breezy postpartum, who never got annoyed with their husband. Like, remember when I got Botox a couple of months ago and I came home and I was like, "Oh, I feel so much better." Not because I got Botox, but because I talked to the girl that did my Botox and she was like, how much how old's your son?" And I was like, "Oh, he's like 4 months." She's like, "Oh, yeah, I remember 4 months I wanted to divorce my husband. I hated him so much." And I'm like, "Oh." Like, I just felt, like, seen, and not that I wanted to divorce you, but I was just like, the thought of you was just, like, so annoying. I was just over it, and to know that I'm not the only one that feels like that, it's like, "Okay." Right? Because 'Cause we're not there's a point to this. I swear. He's looking at me like he wants to kill me. But it's about putting in the work, and no marriage is easy, no relationship is easy, and if you're saying yours is, you're fucking lying. Like, I don't know any relationship that is fucking easy. Would you say? Would you agree? He wants to kill me.
I don't
I'm
want to kill you.
honest.
I'm just sitting here thinking that I'm wearing this shirt for the very first time because you've been picking it out for 2 years straight. And I was like, well, I'm going on Leah's podcast. I'm going to finally wear the shirt that she always asks me to wear. That's compromise. Old Matt wouldn't have worn this shirt. That's right. 2 years ago, I mean, I had this shirt for 2 years and I've never worn it. So I knew I was like, well, I'm gonna make her happy in that sense. I'm making a joke here. That's not
No,
the whole
it's a
reason
big joke.
behind it.
It's funny.
Now I want to kill you.
My point is, I think it's important to grow and evolve as a couple. Put in
You
the
have to.
effort, put in the work.
It's everybody, particularly in the age of social media, puts their greatest hits out there, and everybody's like, "Oh, so and so, Steve and Sally, they go to Europe all the time, and he did this for her anniversary, and he bought her a new car for
Yeah.
the." It's not the reality of the situation, and it's certainly not the messy parts in between. And all of the every relationship has messy parts. It's just sometimes I feel like a lot of it's overcompensation.
Yeah.
You see all these, it happens in Hollywood all the time or on television, all these you love Bravo stars, and they're always involved in scandals and
Oh,
this
yeah.
and that, because they're not doing the actual relationship part of the relationship.
Right.
They're doing the highlights and the greatest hits
And
and do
only
this
portraying that on social media.
right. And that's what we talked about when we had our podcast before, was like the in between. And that's why when you said you were going to do this podcast about motherhood, there is so much messy in between involved in every aspect of life that everybody goes through. It's like leaning into and accepting the reality of the situation and addressing it accordingly, rather than living it with your head in the clouds, thinking like, okay, he hasn't done this for 6 months, or he stopped doing this thing that was important to our relationship. Well, maybe he's going to buy me something nice and everything's going to be okay.
Ugh.
You know what I mean? But I feel like
Sick.
I feel like the general worldview, particularly like I'm worried about the next generation, like the younger generation,
Yeah.
our kids and things, who everything is based on likes and follows
And what everyone else has on social media.
yeah,
Everyone posts
social
this
media
and posts
clout.
that, and
Oh,
like
the,
designer.
the trend of I see it all the time of women are like not dating a guy unless he's over 6 feet tall and makes six figures. Good luck. You just shrunk the dating pool by about 80%.
Right.
You know,
Well, maybe he's 6 feet tall and makes six figures and he's a fucking asshole.
right,
Like,
right. Or he's
I just
boring
have,
as can
yeah.
possibly be. We've met those people where like, what does she see in him? Oh, he's got a nice bank account,
Like,
but he's exciting as a cinder block.
yeah.
But I think the more it becomes out in the open and people go, hey, which it's weird because we're almost like the in-between generation. My parents never talked to us about issues that they had.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, I know they had them. I grew up in the house. I knew
Yeah.
they would fight like cats and dogs and have arguments and shouting matches and things, but never was it like a lesson that was passed on or they never used it as a roadmap. It's like whatever they learned about marriage, they just kind of kept to themselves, kept it in their back pocket.
Right.
And every once in a while, if I've ever asked, I usually get reasonable advice from my dad or whatever. But and then there's the upcoming generation who's just screwed. I sound like old man with
No, but
feeling
it's
of
true. I
clowns.
can't even imagine. Like, I cannot imagine like your kids dating and things like that. Like what they qualify as a good partner or what they're looking for. Or
I got married the first time so young that dating apps didn't even exist.
yeah.
And then at the end of that marriage, that was the most terrifying thought in the world. Like I to this day can say with 100% honesty, I've never been on a dating app of any sort.
Yeah.
I don't think you could pay me to do it.
Yeah.
I'd be like limited to whoever was at the bar that I went to go hang out
Yeah.
at because I just that whole relationship thing just scares the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Especially just based on a photo and a profile that, as we've learned, is usually 80% bullshit.
Yeah. Well, as someone who was on dating apps, I mean, it's slim pickings out there.
Well, they
I'll tell you
didn't
that.
have actual angels from heaven on the app, so you never would have met me there.
No, it worked out, but I don't know. I just think, again, growing, evolving. What is I think it's an episode of Friends where there's Joey's writing vows for who's he writing vows for? Chandler and Monica. He's like growing and evolving and changing. To grow and evolve and change. Like that's what I feel like right now. But that's what we're doing. And I'm grateful to have you. And I'm grateful that we're putting in the work, because if you looked at our social media, you might think that we're just like this perfect couple and just, everything's hunky dory.
You mean the closet videos? They're supposed to think we're the perfect couple because of when you assail me in my closet?
Like, oh, cool. They have like this great relationship where they just like joke around and
I just think it's important, and one of the things I thought of when you asked me to do this was hopefully somebody's listening to this and they're in the car with their husband or their partner or whatever that relationship looks like. And if you're a guy and you're listening to this, like learn to swallow your pride a little bit. It's not perfect. It's ugly sometimes. Sometimes it is downright baffling where you don't have the answers. And I take pride in always being able to figure something out. I'm a man. I'll figure it out. I'll fix it. Some of this stuff can't be fixed, particularly not like in the heat of the moment. You just got to learn
postpartum.
You just got to learn to ride it out and have a little grace. It's not permanent. That's the beautiful part. It's even begun to evolve, since that's the buzzword of the day, since you've had the baby.
Yeah.
It's not back to quote unquote having my wife back, which again is not the same exact person that I married. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Per the whole conversation leading up to this, but there have been positive changes to where it's like, oh, she's still in there somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things that I think can almost exacerbate the situation, because you'll do something that we used to do or something that feels familiar or treat me a certain way or make a comment or something. And I'm like, oh, okay. Leah's still in there. And then it's frustrating that I can't, bust it open and pull you out. But the reality is that it'll come back when the time is right. And I just think it's important for any guy to hear, like, I get that you're frustrated. You're not wrong for being frustrated. You're not crazy. It's different, but this too shall pass.
And it's also about giving your partner space. Like, and I feel like you do give me the space to be in this and deal with it. And like you said, not pressuring me, not rushing me to get to a certain point.
But that's something that we've talked about with our therapist.
Yeah.
And I know it's not unique to me.
Yeah.
Most men's brains are wired. There's a problem. How can I fix it?
Yeah, and
If I can't fix it, who can I find? What can I do to fix it? So being told nothing is wrong, you're not doing anything wrong, there's nothing you can fix, but something is still perceivably broken from our perspective, it just doesn't compute. Like the math doesn't math
Right.
in that instance. Of course I can fix it, or I can figure out some way to fix it, or meet somebody who can help me fix it. So to be told straight up, like, you have to deal with it, but there's nothing you can do about it, that's daunting, and it doesn't make sense to a lot of guys, myself included. So like, if I can give anybody a warning that hasn't been through this, or I'm sure there's somebody listening that has been through this going, welcome to the club, man. That's just the way it is. It's just such an unusual predicament for any male brain to, I don't think we'll ever fully understand or comprehend the level of what goes on with you guys, but to at least just understand, like, dude, you ain't fixing this. Just ride it out.
Well, so I'm grateful for a therapist to be able to know, like, the amount of times that I've cried to you or like needed to just vent and get things off my chest. And you're like, well, what do you want me to do? And I'm like, I don't want you to fucking do anything.
Right.
I want you to just listen. I want you to see me. I want you to hear me. I want you to, like, I don't expect you to understand what I'm going through, but just like understand where I'm coming from. Like, just see me, hear me. Like, we always talk about the 3 H's: hear me, hug me, or help me,
Held, heard,
or help.
helped. Yeah.
Like, I just want to be heard. Like 9 out of the 10 times, I just want to be heard. Like, I don't need you to fix anything.
Yeah.
And that's been, I think, a game changer. And like, even in the moment, if I'm telling you something and I'm like, I just need to like vent and I don't expect you to understand, and you're like, again, what do you want me to do? I'm like, hear me. Like, to be able to physically just say, just hear me.
And a word of advice from my perspective to any of your female listeners, it really truly helps if you preface what you need, or
Right.
preface the statement with what you need. When you say, I just need you to listen to me, my brain is still going, okay, got to fix it. But I pump the brakes initially, because what happens oftentimes, and a lot more beforehand, when you would just spout something off, I'm going, well, what do you want me to do about it?
Yeah.
I'll try, I'll figure something out.
Right.
Meanwhile, you have no solution in mind, nor is there often even a solution.
Right. I don't even need a solution.
But it is so helpful when you go, babe, I just need to bitch.
Yeah.
Babe, just listen.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't
cool.
need your help. I just need you to hear me.
Right.
And that's it.
And that takes the teeth out of a lot of these have turned into arguments in
Right.
the past, because I get defensive, or my man brain just goes, fix. How do
Yeah.
we address the situation? And that's not what you need. That's not what you want.
Right.
But men and women are very different
So
beings.
different. And I think that's what we have learned so much in therapy. Like, men and women are so different. And it's like, oh, men and women are equal. Like, cool. Yeah, whatever. But I mean, like, 2 hour
Physiologically,
like,
it's
literally
very different
so-
beings.
I keep saying literally. I'm annoyed by myself.
Yeah, you're getting like
Ugh,
call her
like,
daddy vibes now.
oh my God,
I'm
fuck you for saying that.
ooh,
Take out all the literally. No, I
hot
just
mom shit gang. That is a
I'm
look of
annoyed.
pure
Just
disgust.
talking about divorce. All right, it's back on the table. Now, this is fun, and I'm hoping that you can be more of a regular on here, because especially for our Bear With Us faithful who are, I almost just said literally again.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
Who are
work
in
on this.
DMs asking all the time when Bear With Us is coming back. It's not back, but it's kind of like a little something. We've kind of grown. If anyone would go back and listen to those episodes where you would get so mad at me because I would be poking holes in the ship and I'd be crying, you guys, because I wasn't doing it right. We've come such a long way. I'm proud of us.
If only you figure out your equipment, we'll be
Oh my
awesome.
God, I know the video isn't that clear, but we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. This is only the first few weeks, okay? And again, I want this to be as much, I mean, this is like therapy for me. I feel like I'm in therapy and it's great. But I want this to be for you guys too, listening. And I hope that you guys, something that we said today resonated with you. Maybe you can share this with your husband. If you have any, questions for Matt and I in the future, maybe we'll come have him back on and he can answer them.
Word of advice: don't tell your partner what you're going to listen to before you put this on in the
Just like, oh, I want you
Don't
to
say, hey, I was listening to a podcast, because
Yeah.
then as a dude, full disclosure, full transparency. I heard this podcast the other day. I'm out.
Ew. Yeah.
Just get in the car, put it on, play it at the dinner table, leave your Bluetooth connected when he's in the gym. Pro level move right there.
Yeah. Hopefully he's not watching porn. But yeah, this is fun. And thank you guys for listening. I still haven't figured a way to wrap this up. I'm just like going on and on.
I got
Thank
an
you
idea.
guys for listening. Stay on that hot mom shit.
Goodbye forever.
You gotta get on my level.
You did it! Somewhere between the laundry and the meltdowns, you made time for another episode of Hot Mom Shit. If something today made you feel a little less alone, text it to the mom who could use the reminder too. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss a new episode, and come hang out with me at the Leah Vandale. Remember, babe, none of us have our shit together.